The xenobiology lecture hall buzzed with nervous energy as Professor Krell adjusted the audio interface, his four eye stalks twitching with anticipation. Today's lesson: apex predators of death worlds, and why no sane species should ever visit them. Students, Krell announced, his translator crackling, prepare yourselves. What you're about to hear are actual recordings from Category 9 planets. I must warn you, these sounds have caused psychological trauma in unprepared individuals. The class of 43 students from 17 different species shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Mandibles clicked. Breathing sacs inflated. Someone in the back row had already activated their personal shield generator. All except one. Marcus Webb sat in the third row, casually leaning back in his chair, one leg crossed over the other. The human looked almost bored, scratching notes on his datapad with the kind of relaxed posture that made everyone else uncomfortable. Humans always made everyone else uncomfortable. First, Krell continued, dimming the lights for dramatic effect, we have the razorback howler from Gamma Serpentis 4. This creature stands 3 meters tall, has retractable bone spikes, and can disembowel prey in 2.3 seconds. He pressed play. A bone-chilling scream erupted from the speakers. It started low, then rose to a piercing shriek that seemed to vibrate in everyone's chest cavities. Students clutched their desks. Vix, a normally confident Kralix warrior scholar, whimpered and covered her auditory sensors. Marcus looked up from his datapad, tilted his head, and shrugged. Okay, that one's pretty weird, he admitted. Sounds like someone mixed a turkey with a chainsaw. The class stared at him. Krell's eye stalks drooped in confusion. You're not disturbed? The professor asked. I mean, it's unpleasant, sure, Marcus said. But we had a peacock at my university once. That thing screamed like someone was being murdered every morning at 5 a.m. You get used to weird animal noises. Krell blinked all 4 eyes in sequence, a gesture of disbelief. Very well. Perhaps that was too mild. Let us try something more aggressive. The professor pulled up another file, and this time his expression turned grave. This is from Earth. Your Earth, Mr. Webb. The Siberian white stalker. Recorded in your planet's northern territories. I selected this specifically because even humans have listed this creature as extremely dangerous. Oh, this should be good, Marcus said, actually sitting up straighter. The recording started. Silence at first, then a low growl that seemed to resonate from somewhere deep and primal. It built slowly, methodically, like the rumble of an approaching earthquake. Then came the roar, a sound so visceral, so filled with raw predatory intent, that 3 students immediately activated their emergency transport beacons. Security protocols kicked in. The classroom doors locked. Medical drones descended from the ceiling, scanning for panic attacks, and Marcus Webb laughed, not a nervous laugh, not a shocked laugh, a genuine, delighted laugh. Oh wow, he exclaimed, grinning like he'd just heard his favorite song. That's just a cougar. I didn't know we had recordings in the database. That's awesome. The entire class turned to stare at him as if he'd just announced he ate plutonium for breakfast. Just, Vix squeaked. Her scales had gone pale blue, the Kralix equivalent of terror-induced shock. Just a cougar? That sound indicates a creature capable of tearing through reinforced steel. Well, yeah, they're pretty strong, Marcus agreed cheerfully. Adult males can weigh up to 200 pounds, maybe more. They can jump like 15 feet vertically, 40 feet horizontally. Bite force around 350 psi. They'll absolutely mess you up if you surprise one. And you, coexist with these things? Another student asked, a gelatinous plorax named Gumbo who had literally flattened himself against the floor in fear. Sure, Marcus said, as if this were the most normal thing in the universe. I mean, you don't usually see them. They're ambush predators. Super shy, actually. I went hiking in cougar territory dozens of times back in Colorado. Never saw one in person, though I found tracks a few times. My friend Danny claimed he saw one once, but I think he was full of it. Professor Krell's translator made a sound like a sputtering engine. You recreationally entered the hunting grounds of apex predators? Well, yeah, that's where the good trails are. For enjoyment. For enjoyment, Marcus confirmed. Beautiful views. Fresh air. Sometimes you see elk or bighorn sheep. It's peaceful, actually. The word peaceful landed in the classroom like a grenade. Krell pulled up another file with shaking appendages. Perhaps you're simply familiar with your own planet's predators. Let me play something from the Andromeda colonies. The scream wing. It has caused the evacuation of 3 separate settlements. The sound that came through the speakers was genuinely horrifying. A high-pitched mechanical screech combined with what sounded like metal being torn apart, punctuated by rapid clicking that suggested thousands of approaching legs. Marcus winced. Okay, that one's definitely creepy. Sounds like a bug, right? Please tell me it's not the size of a car. It has a wingspan of 4 meters, Krell said quietly. Yeah, that's going to be a no from me, Marcus admitted. I don't do giant bugs. Regular-sized bugs are bad enough. A collective sigh of relief went through the classroom. Finally, the humans showed normal fear responses, but then Marcus added, though honestly, it's not the size that bothers me. It's the leg thing. Too many legs is just wrong. Give me a cougar any day over something with more than 4 legs. You'd prefer the creature that can kill you in seconds? Vix asked incredulously. Marcus shrugged, that infuriatingly casual human gesture that seemed to dismiss mortal danger as a minor inconvenience. At least I understand how a cougar works. For legs, teeth, claws. Simple, elegant design. But bugs? Bugs are unpredictable. They move wrong. They can walk on ceilings. Plus they have those weird antenna things and compound eyes. Gives me the creeps. Professor Krell's eye stalks were now tangled together in confusion, a physiological response he hadn't experienced since graduate school. Let me understand this correctly. You fear small arthropods, but not large mammalian predators that have killed hundreds of your species throughout history. Thousands, probably, Marcus corrected helpfully. Humans and big cats go way back. We've got cave paintings of them from like 40,000 years ago. Respect the danger, you know? But yeah, spiders freak me out. Completely irrational, I know. Gumbo had reformed himself into something resembling his normal shape. Nothing about your species makes sense. Your fear responses are inverted. Hey, you're the one who turned into a puddle from a cougar's sound, Marcus pointed out. At least my fears are about things that might actually get into my bedroom. Vix raised a claw tentatively. Question. If these cougars are so dangerous, why does your government allow civilians to wander into their territory? Surely there are regulations, protection protocols, mandatory armed escorts. Nah, Marcus said, pulling up something on his datapad. I mean, there are warnings at trailheads. Advice like don't hike alone, make noise so you don't surprise them. Don't run if you see one because that triggers their chase instinct. Basic stuff. Basic, Vix repeated flatly. Don't trigger the chase instinct of the apex predator. Basic survival advice. Exactly. See, you're getting it. I'm really not, Vix muttered. Professor Krell had composed himself enough to continue the lesson, though his usual academic confidence had evaporated. Mr. Webb, perhaps you could enlighten the class. What do humans actually fear if not predators? Marcus thought for a moment, scratching his chin. Public speaking is a big one. A lot of people fear that more than death, actually. There's this famous study about it. The classroom erupted in confusion. Public speaking? Someone shouted from the back. Talking, Gumbo gurgled. You fear talking more than being eaten? Social judgment is pretty terrifying, Marcus defended. Standing up in front of people, being evaluated, possibly embarrassing yourself? That stays with you. A cougar attack is over in like 30 seconds, one way or another. Krell made a notation on his datapad with trembling appendages. What else? Oh, plenty of stuff. Heights freak some people out. Deep water. Enclosed spaces. Disease. Financial ruin. Losing loved ones. Existential dread about the meaninglessness of existence in an infinite universe. You know, normal things. None of those are normal. Vix protested. Half of those aren't even physical threats. Exactly, Marcus said, as if this proved his point. Physical threats are straightforward. You can fight them, run from them, prepare for them. But psychological threats? Those stick with you. Those keep you up at night. Professor Krell pulled up one final recording, his voice taking on a desperate edge. This is from Earth as well. The ocean depths. The blue whale vocalization. Surely the largest creature on your planet must inspire some fear. The haunting, melodic call resonated through the speakers. Deep, mournful, impossibly vast. It sounded like the voice of the ocean itself, ancient and profound. Marcus smiled softly. That's beautiful. Whales are amazing. Did you know their songs can travel thousands of miles underwater? They're talking to each other across entire oceans. We still don't fully understand their language. There's 60 tons of muscle, Krell said, his voice cracking. They could swallow you whole. Blue whales eat krill, actually. Tiny shrimp things. Totally harmless to humans. I mean, you wouldn't want to get hit by the tail by accident, but they're gentle giants. Marcus paused. Now, Orcus, those are the ocean predators you need to respect. Smart as hell, hunt in packs, coordinate attacks. We call them killer whales, but they're actually the largest dolphin species. Why would you call them killer whales if you want people to respect them? Gumbo asked weakly. Because they kill whales, Marcus explained. They hunt other whale species. Sometimes great white sharks too. There's footage of Orcus flipping sharks upside down to paralyze them, then eating just their livers. Super efficient. The class sat in stunned silence. Finally, Vic spoke, her voice small. Your planet is a nightmare. Nah, Marcus said, genuinely surprised by the assessment. Earth's great. Sure, we've got predators, but we've also got amazing biodiversity, beautiful landscapes, complex ecosystems. You just need to be smart about where you go and what you do. Most animals leave you alone if you leave them alone. Professor Krell slowly powered down the audio system. Class dismissed, he said quietly. I need to file a report with the Galactic University Board. Our entire curriculum on death world psychology may need revision. As students filed out, still shaken, Marcus approached the professor's desk. Hey, that was really interesting. Do you have recordings from other planets? I'd love to hear what a Krellix apex predator sounds like. Krell's eye stalks focused on the human with something approaching horror. Mr. Webb, the Krellix apex predator went extinct 6,000 years ago. It was so dangerous we developed spaceflight specifically to escape our own planet. Oh, Marcus said, processing this. That's actually pretty intense. We just learned to use fire and pointy sticks. Yes, Krell said softly. That's exactly what concerns us. As Marcus left the lecture hall, whistling something that might have been a tune from his homeworld, Krell made a final note in his report. Recommendation. Increase human psychology courses. Current xenobiology framework insufficient to explain species that views apex predators as hiking inconveniences. Further study required before humans are allowed unrestricted access to preserved worlds. The notation blinked on his screen, and far across the galaxy, on a monitoring station near the galactic core, an analyst read it and marked it priority 1 that the humans weren't coming to conquer anyone. They were coming to go camping, which somehow, everyone agreed, was infinitely more terrifying. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.